Tonight's episode of the Sunday Night Talk is here. It's ready. It's week 3 in the NFL, what I like to call the first benchmark of the season. Omar Carmona is here, and we have a technical difficulty free episode. No technical difficulties like last week. We're back to normal. Before we get to the episode, I want to thank everyone who came out to Let's Ride Cyclery this last weekend and saw the stand-up comedy show. It was a blast. If you're in the area, you have to come back to that show. It was great, and there was a lot of funny comics on it as well. And I got more coming. October 4th, I am at Tale O' the Pup hosting a comedy show right here in West Hollywood. Details to come on that one. So another chance to see me doing comedy. On the episode today, Omar joins me. His team won Thursday night. We talk the Sunday night game. A rough loss for me and Jimmy G's grandpa, and all those associated with the Las Vegas Raiders. But I toughed it out. I toughed out another episode for you people, for the audience. Speaking of the audience, if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. It helps. All right, no more talk. Let's get to the episode. Me and Omar Carmona. It's week 3 in the NFL. It's the Sunday Night Talk right here. All right, it is Sunday night. It's time for the Sunday Night Talk. It is 8:41 West Coast time. The Sunday night game just wrapped up. Pittsburgh Steelers were victorious over my Las Vegas Raiders. What a Sunday. Omar Carmona joins me.
I need my 49ers cap.
Yeah, you don't have any gear on. Omar has left his chair and he's gone into another room because he is that excited about his 49ers, which won on Thursday. It is week 3 in the NFL, and I will say might be my first benchmark of the season when it comes to the NFL. Week 3, because that means some teams are 3-0. That means some teams are 0-3. And I think that's our first benchmark where we can start judging teams and we can start looking to the future and we can start making little predictions.
That even 1 and 2 doesn't sound very good at this point. You know what I mean? You're not a good team.
Yeah, nothing sounds good right now other than 3-0. 2-1, as we saw the day with Dallas, now we got 2-1 questions. Now we got Dallas questions. So let's start off with this, Omar. 3-0 teams, Miami, San Francisco, and I put a question mark by Philly and Tampa Bay. 0-3 teams, Denver, Carolina, Chicago, Minnesota. I want to start right now. What 3-0 team would you most want to be? Now, I know you're going to say San Francisco, so I'm going to ask you for your non-San Fran pick as well. So what 3-0 team would you most want to be?
Answer right now. This is it's Miami, San Francisco, 1A, 1B. I don't think you can fault anyone for choosing one over the other. I think the San Francisco defense is a lot more impressive. I think it has more playmakers. So I think when it comes to playoff football, I'm trusting the San Francisco 49ers more than the Dolphins defense. But looking at that Dolphins offense, that means they looked unstoppable. And I would think right now they have a better offense than the 49ers do right now. And that's, Daniels is a Shanahan pupil. So I think it's those two teams. I think the Eagles are a strong team. I think the Buccaneers are playing over. I think they're overachieving right now a little bit. I think they'll come back to earth tomorrow.
Let's assume Philadelphia wins tomorrow. They go 3-0. Let's rank these teams. San Francisco, Miami, Philadelphia. Would you be with me in that order? Would you rearrange Philly and somebody?
My power rankings right now. Hey, look, when you put up 70 points, I put you number 1. Tua played nearly a flawless game considering that they ran.
I think he had 3 incompletions.
Yeah, but here's the thing. and then it's like 7 rushing touchdowns. You know what I mean? Like, how do you even account for that? So I think it's Miami, San Francisco, Philadelphia.
Here's my only I don't even know what you would call it. My only caveat with Miami. Can you walk me through Miami's 3 wins? Denver is horrible.
Right.
So, okay, they got Denver. Who did they beat last week? They beat the Chargers, who
They beat,
constantly find a way to lose, which, by the way, I have a lot of thoughts on Chargers today. And who did they beat in week 1? I already forgot.
was
Uh,
it the Bills? I
no.
think they beat the Bills.
Okay, we'll get the research department on that. So strength of schedule. I got to give San Francisco a little bit of an edge on that one. However,
I agree.
if Miami is say the preseason number 1, I say they're still holding number 1, and Philly is bouncing around here as well. Tampa Bay is the wild card. If Tampa Bay wins tomorrow and they go 3-0, then I still got them as then I'll put them
Hey,
as
but
the third, of course.
I mean, are people going to be jumping off the Dallas bandwagon now?
Mm-hmm.
I'm
Dallas,
drinking.
yeah, one of the more
I'm drinking
curious losses.
my
What is
Canes,
this?
my Canes promo, Canes chicken promo cup, the Dallas Cowboys. So I'm not going to give up on. Look, it's got this Post Malone and the Dallas Cowboys.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, this is interesting that you actually have Cowboys memorabilia in your home.
Yes, Patrick, you can't see it, but I have a ton of I have 49ers champagne flutes and wine glasses. Each
Right.
one costs about $50 to $75. I got big steins. I got big steins of the 49ers, a big an expensive UTEP glass set, the Chihuahuas. The cheapest thing I have to drink something out of is this for $129.
Oh, so I was gonna say like, wow, I'm surprised you have it in the memory, but you almost have it as an insult in your house that you have a cheap plastic cup amongst all your finer quality stuff. Wow.
It's crap. It's crap. I said it. It's crap. They're crap. Dak Prescott's crap. The Cowboys are done.
Done. Wow, we're not even at hot take yet. Omar.
Okay.
All right, settle down. Settle dodown. I'm not done with my 3-0. Okay, through 0-3 teams, Omar. Denver, Carolina, Chicago, Minnesota. What 0-3 team would you most want to be?
You know, I think the Bears. Here they had a bad something happened at the Bears facility this week. I know a defensive coordinator. There were some crazy rumors that went around that the FBI raided. Apparently, he makes a statement saying it was about I'm talking about Alan. I forget what his last name is, but he says that he's going to focus on his health. Turns out he may have been let go for inappropriate office or work activity. So, you don't want to see that, especially in the beginning of the year, when you're trying so hard to gel after an off season and get preparing. So, the Bears, that's unfortunate. I hope the Bears can put that past them, put that behind them. I'm sorry. And then I still like Fields. I think he's got the potential to be a very good quarterback in this league.
Well, I didn't know about that story. So you're breaking news to me on that one. On the Fields element, yeah, I watched part of that game too. That he really has bad body language. He really looks like he doesn't want to be there. He looks like
Fields,
he doesn't want to take any unnecessary hits. I'm really concerned for Fields right now and like what his future is, because this is year 3 for him. And not only have they not made any improvement, they've taken a step back this year. They look like a mess. And I wonder if that team is already in chaos mode.
Chaos.
But you like them. This would be your 0-3 pick would be Chicago.
I want to say that teams find something to rally around.
And you think they can do that? My thought is
they can rally. I think they, but it also wasn't very attractive that Josh Fields was criticizing the coaches. I think he was talking about last week robotic coaching and play calling. You can't do that.
Mhm.
Fields, you gotta go out there and you gotta lead. But
Well,
I
that's
think
what
that
makes me worry about this season is that he's already
yeah, but
checked out and it's week 3.
no, but here's the thing. I'm more worried about, I'd be more worried about Vikings. They're losing games they really shouldn't be. Okay. And Kirk Cousins just doesn't seem to have it in him. Especially consider that they have a really, really good receiving core in Minnesota. He should be lighting it up. And who was the other 0-3?
Carolina and Denver. Denver, I
Oh,
think we can cross out.
Denver, nobody wants to be Denver right now.
Now, cross out
And then
Denver.
Peyton, you can't call out Nathaniel Hackett the way you did and then start like this.
It's been rough in Denver. I watched a little Carolina. They're feisty. I like Carolina.
Yeah,
They can't
but
put together any wins, but they're feisty. Denver is the worst. Let me go back to the Minnesota thing. Let me make the argument for Minnesota. You're like, they should be better. They got a receiving core. They got Cousins. Omar, when has this been any different for Minnesota year after year? Of course they have all these things. They never come through on them. That being said, they're going to put together 8 wins in the middle of the season again, and we're going to have to talk about them. So
right.
I'd pick Minnesota just because I know how this season goes for Minnesota. Is they're going to put together a strong November, part of December, and they're going to have to be in the wild card hunt because that's just what they do.
And remember that Minnesota, they completed the biggest comeback in NFL regular season history last year.
They're going to do it again. They're going to do it again, Omar. You know they're going to do it again. All right, let's talk about our Sundays. Here's what I did this week because I think I got overwhelmed with football last week. So this week I was like, all right, I'm just going to have the game on, going to have morning games on, but at halftime, I'm going to run my errands and I'm just going to like focus. I'm going to write down my notes because I really want to focus on Sunday night. I don't want to overdo my notes, overthink. So I only watched one and only one early game.
Which one?
That was Chargers at Minnesota. Number one. That was the game shown here on the West Coast because that's the affiliate. And I flip it on. It's like, I'm just going to watch whatever game and it's Chargers. And I'm like, can we watch any more Chargers? I'm so over watching all the Chargers, but I watched the game. We have a battle of the 0-2s / battle of the coaches who may be fired at the end of this season. And it's the classic Chargers, classic Minnesota game. Chargers win this game. I think the Vikings out-chargered the Chargers. The Vikings found ways to give this game away, and the Chargers were like, no, we'll give this game away. And the Vikings said, don't worry, we'll give this game away. This was a weird game between two strangely cursed franchises called by Mark Sanchez, which is my new favorite announcer. Kevin O'Connell also has bad body language on Minnesota. And Brandon Staley, the coach of the Chargers, now has a beard, and I'm convinced he grew that beard so nobody recognizes him from last year, so he can hide.
What about how do you feel? It seemed like Staley's job was the hottest going into this week. I really thought that. I could see 2 more losses and Staley looking for a job.
I really thought if the Chargers didn't convert that fourth down, or wait, they didn't convert it. If they didn't win today because they didn't convert that, I thought he was gone. I thought that was it. But let me give Staley some credit. He's got to know pressure is on him. And he's like, fuck it. We're going for it. I don't care. I'm going down with the ship. So maybe I'm looking at this wrong, and maybe he deserves some credit. Okay, here's red flag number 1 when it comes to the Minnesota game. End of the first half, Minnesota has it on the 50-yard line. They don't call a timeout. They don't spike it. They have one Hail Mary, but they just get to the line. They hike it. Kirk Cousins gets rushed, throws the ball away, end of the half. So they don't get even a shot there. I thought it was weird that Mark Sanchez is actually calling out the errors that Kirk Cousins is making on offense.
How ironic is that?
The hot dog eater is calling out errors that Kirk Cousins made. He's like, oh, he looked deep, but look what he had underneath. And if that crossing route, Mark Sanchez is quickly becoming my favorite announcer. And you can tell he's really new at this because he talks over his partner all the time. They're not really in sync with each other as well. Like I said, Kevin Carnell has bad body language on the Minnesota sideline. Every tip ball is either turning into a touchdown or an interception the Chargers' way. But let's not forget, we're playing the Chargers here. The Chargers have bad mojo too. Every third play I look up at this game, Keenan Allen is catching another ball for 11 plus yards. He's awesome in this game. Okay, now we get to the fourth down. What were your thoughts on the Chargers going for it on fourth down?
That was unfortunate. No, that the Chargers had to go for it. I think the way the Chargers looked at it, you start 0-3, and that's just you got to go for it. You're gonna have to take chances, especially on the road.
So here's the setup. It's fourth down. It's 4th and 1. The Chargers are up 4. There's a minute 47 left. They're on their own 24-yard line. And I'm a little surprised, but I'm agreeing with you. I think they should have went for it. Say they get it. Oh, they can milk the clock. The game's over. Say they don't get it. There's a minute 47 left. Vikings can score quick and they'll get the ball back. They can still have a possession. So I didn't hate it. I didn't hate the call. Okay, now the Vikings get the ball. They get the ball all the way into inside the 10. There's 36 seconds left. The Vikings throw the pass. They get 1st and goal. 36 seconds. The clock is running.
Yep.
They line up. They snap the ball with 12 seconds left on the clock, and it turns into a tip pass that turns into an INT. I'm not even 100% sure that if the pass was caught, that Minnesota guy was even in the end zone. But what are the Vikings thinking here? It's 1st and goal, 36 seconds. They don't spike it. They rush up to the line and do this rush play. This is the most Viking situation the Vikings could ever. It really was.
And I think what's disappointing is that if you're Kirk Cousins, you're a veteran. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
what's going on here?
Yeah, because the announcers were saying on the Sunday night game that like the coach has got to be in his ear, but Cousins, this is what is his 8th year? He's got to know that the situation is you got to spike it. They're down with 36 seconds. They don't snap it till 12. They went from having 3 plays to potentially 1 play. And it's a tip ball. It's not a great play call. And the ball is tipped and it's intercepted and it's over. This is very Chargers-like. And the Vikings out-charged the Chargers.
They did.
That's the game I watched and found it endlessly fascinated that either team couldn't give this game away more times. And thus Brandon Staley is alive and well for at least another. I mean, he probably bought himself 3 weeks. he bought himself through Thanksgiving.
I think he bought himself a flight home.
Yeah. Okay. So if they lose next week, you think he's fired?
No, I don't think he's fired, but like he
could grow more of a beard.
They're going to have to win. Here's the thing. Herbert is, I'm not, how much I've loved Herbert in the last few years. I'm a huge Herbert fan. Herbert and Josh Allen. I really am looking, and Burrow, I'm really looking forward, Mahomes, to that rebirth of this is the next quarterback era. You throw in dynamic athletes like Tua and Lamar Jackson. I think we're going to get that. This is the next big quarterback wave. Would you agree?
Oh, I definitely agree. But if I'm going to play devil's advocate on Herbert, why are they not finishing drives? Why are they having to eke out wins? They've got Keenan Allen, who's awesome. Herbert can put the ball anywhere. Something's up with play calling or scheme or something to put their players in the best possible position. That 4th and 1 call. By the way, they ran the ball on that 4th and 1 call. Guess how many yards rushing they had in the game to that point?
How many?
30 yards.
Oh.
And guess who carried the ball on that play? the fullback. I think that was his first carry of the season.
Geez, that's
Throw
not
it
good.
downfield. Give it a shot. Let Herbert create. It
Yeah.
was horrendous, that play call. I don't mind them going for it, but the play call was insane. And by the way, this is my favorite pet peeve sports announcer thing is when it's fourth down and the team goes for it and they don't get it and the announcer goes, I don't like the call. Like,
Yeah.
yeah,
Well,
you know
yeah.
what happened? That's why.
Right.
Great game. Great game. That being said, I love that game. So
Yep.
disappointing. So that was my Sunday morning. And then I ran errands and prepped up for the Sunday night game and just kept tabs on the game. Tell me about your Sunday. What did you decide? Because you were almost non-pressure today because your team won on Thursday.
No, my team won Thursday, Pat. It's nice to get a Thursday win. You get it out of the way. You can enjoy the game, see teams you don't get really a chance to pay attention to. Let's dabble in a few. Cleveland. Someone's playing football in Cleveland,
Mm-hmm.
and when you think that maybe losing a stud running back like Nick Chubb, that's going to set you back, and then you got a guy next man up, and I believe his name is Ward. Is it right, Jerome Ward? He's ready to play and he's balling. He's balling. I'm liking what I'm seeing in Cleveland. They held the Tennessee Titans to 3 points. How about Indianapolis? Huge win in an ugly game on the road in Baltimore, their old home.
Mm-hmm.
How great
Minshew
that was!
sighting.
That was a great, I think that could be a signature win.
Quick point on the Tennessee Cleveland thing. Cleveland good or Tennessee bad? Because we've seen Tennessee be kind of weird in a couple games now.
I'm not saying Cleveland's bad. I just
No,
think that
I'm asking if Tennessee's bad.
yeah, no. What I'm saying is I don't want to say good yet, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I
right.
don't want you to think that means I think they're bad. I'm just saying I need to see more from Cleveland. So that being said, Tennessee's not playing good football right now.
And also, I'd like to see Deshaun Watson have a breakout game. Like, I think he's going to give a defense 2 or 3 opportunities in each game. Yeah. He had a weird play today where he just threw the ball backwards. That was insane. And in Indianapolis, Baltimore, one of the early games I was watching was a blowout. I don't know which game it was. And I'm screaming at the TV for bonus coverage to go to Indianapolis, Baltimore with the OT game. And I'm like, where's bonus coverage? Let's watch bonus coverage. I want to see Indianapolis play Baltimore. And they get the win in OT. And we got a Gardner Minshew sighting as well.
I love a good Gardner Minshew sighting.
Yeah. I didn't even know he's on the Colts. So I see him on the ticker and I'm like, he's on the Colts. All right. Nice. I could get into some Indianapolis now. So that was good. No bonus coverage for Pat on the West Coast. Buffalo at Washington. This was the game I just made one note on. Magic Johnson is a co-owner of the Washington Commanders. I think this is a good sign for the Commanders.
He got on that when I think it fell through that their old owners, the Snyder family, the worst owners who arguably in the history of, dare I say, sports, you know what I mean?
They're in the argument.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Josh Allen did a smart thing, I think, and got Magic involved. I think his name's Josh Allen. I forget what's the CEO he has.
Oh yeah, I don't know. I just know I saw Magic Johnson.
He's also, I think, the 76ers owner.
Oh, I did hear this. Yeah, the guy owns a bunch of stuff. He's some rich guy. But I think this is good. This is a good feel. There's Magic Johnson's in the press box. I say they bring back the old uniforms and they just start fresh, like the last 14 years didn't happen. And let's just start a fresh team and go with the old uniforms and let us get us back to the honor of the Washington. Remember when they were the football team? I almost called them the football team. Those were dark days. Buffalo wins big. Denver, Miami. Miami scored 70 points. They might have scored more points at the time we're recording this. I don't even know. I think Miami has had the best 3 weeks of any team. How good does Tua sound? How great does McDaniels sound? Coaching. Dolphins are 3-0. Denver looks like a Division 3 college team at this point. They look rough, which makes me think maybe it should have been a red flag that the Raiders only beat the Broncos by 1 point in week 1. Maybe I should have
Right.
known. Maybe I should have
Yeah.
known this was going to be a rough stretch. What
Wait,
about
who would you say if you had power rankings? Who is your bottom team? Who
Denver?
saying? I think so too. I just
Denver.
think Russell Wilson can't cook anymore.
Yeah, he can't cook, he can't preheat, he can't simmer. The guy,
Oh,
he's burnt. He's like whatever went in the oven, it was already soured. Like he is
so
a different man.
if you're hungry, you're still passing. You're gonna wait until mom comes home to make something. Yeah,
It's
you're
that
not gonna
bad.
try. It's that bad.
Yeah, it's like potato salad that you're like, oh, I'm so hungry, and you see potato salad, but it's like brown, and it's just you're like, I'm gonna wait. That's what he's turned into, bad potato salad. Russell Wilson, it's a mess. Denver is like, if you're a Denver fan, you got to say like, my God, we got to make it to December. We're not going to win any games. They're bad. Denver's bad. Speaking of bad, New England beats the Jets 15-10. Another game I watched no minutes of, but my one note is when it's a weird score like 15-10, both these teams are suspect. Like if it's 9-6, 15-10, 11-6, those games tell you something when you have weird scores. I think Jets are another one that's like, we got to figure something out. It's going to be a long season. And I don't know if they can. Do you think the Jets can turn around anything?
The Jets, they're done with Zach Wilson. He's just bad pick. Just like the Niners, they made a mistake in that same draft apparently with Trey Lance. Not good. Not good.
There was a point where I think Zach Wilson sacked himself. And the highlights, I saw one where he like fell down and just stayed down. Okay, I got a question on this. Oh, before we go, New England, do you see New England as a threat in any capacity in the AFC East?
No. But another team, I'm going to put them somewhere around the Browns. I kind of want to see more.
You do. So you're not totally out on New England. Do you think they can ruin someone's season, or you think they can go on a run in the middle of the season?
That's teams like Buffalo and Miami, they need to watch out because maybe playing New England late in the season could seem like an attractive game on your calendar, but come out, you may come out on the losing end.
Atlanta at Detroit.
Detroit
Detroit's
can string
looking
some wins together.
Detroit's looking really fun.
I think you mentioned that you thought Carolina was very gritty. This is my gritty team right now, and I really like what I'm seeing from Jared Goff. I think he is making a huge improvement. And sometimes it's just a situation. Does that mean that Sean McVay was a bad coach? No, but maybe for him, it just, maybe the system just didn't work out. And now Dan Campbell definitely plays a very different style offense. And look, and he's finding some success.
You and I both agreed last week that we liked Desmond Ridder. You know how much shit I got for liking Desmond Ridder during the week? They were like, no, he's horrible. He's horrible. What are you watching? I'm like, I'm watching him. The guy looks good. He wasn't good today, but I'm not out on Desmond Ridder. Did you, are you going back on Ridder, or do you still like him?
I like him. I like him. But he's going to have, again, another guy, you show me something. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think he's going to have 2 or 3 like great games this year. I got so much crap from people being like, that guy's horrible. What are you talking about? I was like, I'm telling you, he passed the eye test.
Yeah, he did. But
what is Detroit? 2-1?
Detroit is 2-1.
Got what was their one loss? I forgot. Because they
They
beat the
lost to
Chiefs.
Seattle in overtime last
That's
week.
right. Seattle. Okay. So a winnable game. Detroit could be 3-0. They very easily could be 3-0.
Yep.
Okay, Detroit. We like Detroit. Next game, weird one. New Orleans at Green Bay. New Orleans is winning the whole game. Green Bay scores all their points in the fourth quarter. Derek Carr gets injured in this game. That means we get a Winston sighting. Winston has to come in relief and win and play in the game. I still don't know if either of these teams are good. New Orleans had a shot. They missed the field goal.
I don't think either of these teams are good. I think
You
they're
don't
all.
think so? Yeah.
I'm down on both. But again, I will put. Okay, let me go back. These teams are not going to be in the Super Bowl. Okay, but maybe can they make a run if they improve, because they each team has some glaring weaknesses.
Okay. Yeah.
And right now Green Bay is dealing with an injury problem, and now who knows how long Derek Carr is going to be out. Have you heard yet?
I heard that he was out, but not serious. Whatever that means. Like it was not serious like we know other injuries. Well, let me go backwards on teams like Green Bay and New Orleans. So let's go New Orleans and Green Bay. Super Bowl, we both say no. Division winners. Are New Orleans or Green Bay going to win their division? Because who's in Green Bay's division? They could win it.
But I think Detroit. I think this is Detroit. Okay. This is Detroit's chance to really take this division back.
Okay, so let's say no on the division. Can Green Bay get a wild card spot?
Yes, they can. But their margin for error is not that big, especially if they're going to be this hurt.
Okay, and then if Green Bay can get a wild card spot, can they win a playoff game? So can they go up against a 1 seed?
No.
No. Okay, I think I'm with you on that. New Orleans, let's do the same thing. Can New Orleans win their division?
No. What?
Who's winning that division?
They can. That one, I think that one. I think that's up for grabs.
Oh, really? Yes. Okay, gotcha. And then by that line of thought, can New Orleans win a playoff game?
No.
No. Okay. So
remember the winner of that division, though, whether we like it or not, is going to get a home game.
Okay.
And crazier things have happened at the New Orleans Superdome.
Yeah. Speaking of crazy things, we haven't talked about it yet. Injuries are piling up now for all teams.
Oh, it's tough, and we're losing some all-stars too. So these aren't, Green Bay, they lose Aaron Jones, Cleveland's losing Nick Chubb. I mean, that's
Carr's out of the game, Minshew's coming in, Chubb, Aaron Rodgers. It is adding up. It's going to be flipped on its head.
Jonathan Taylor hasn't played a snap this year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Jimmy G today, before we get to my horrible game.
Oh,
Jimmy G is taking a lot of hits. He's gotten semi-injured in 2 games this season already.
Okay.
So injuries are going to be a real thing, and they're going to flip some team on their head at some point. So all these 3-0s that we are talking about, we don't know who's going to suffer the worst injury.
Obviously, I don't wish injury on anybody, even if I dislike the player. You should never wish that on somebody. I like what someone said in response to Bart Scott kind of making a joke about Trayvon Diggs' injury. It's like, hey, this guy's trying to feed his family. He's trying to, create a name for himself. And this is just really unfortunate for such a good player. And that's from a guy here that I don't like the Cowboys, right? Except because I have this cheap cup. But nonetheless, Jimmy G, I just think maybe the Raiders could start looking at other options.
I mean, seriously, though, it's too early for that. We're in week 3. What Jimmy G did.
Here we go.
What Jimmy G did today, or do we want to talk about the Raider game now? Do you want to just skip all the afternoon games?
You want to talk about? We're not, Patrick. This is what Jimmy G does. This is what he does.
All right, hold on. Let's speed through the afternoon games, and I'm gonna.
But we still got to talk about Dallas and Arizona. That's the game.
Houston at Jacksonville. I wrote down the least watchable game of the day. I didn't even watch it. 37-17.
Hey, but on a side note, I am in a Survivor league I am officially out today with the Jacksonville Jaguars losing.
Oh,
Yeah, not good.
Jacksonville. Man, I like Jacksonville at the end of last season. They're going to need to put something together in the middle of the season. They did last year. So it's a
When
maybe.
I made because of the picks when I made the Jacksonville pick.
That was your survivor pick? You went Jacksonville over Houston? Like, of all the games you could have picked, that's the one? Why'd you go with that one?
I wanted to save San Francisco for
You
later.
couldn't, not even KC over Chicago? You wouldn't have
I
gone that
wanted to
way.
save Kansas City for later.
I see. I don't, all right.
I
Uh,
wanted to save Kansas City for the Broncos. You know what I mean?
okay. Carolina at Seattle. First of all, I didn't even know Andy Dalton was on the Carolina Panthers. I thought it was Sam Darnold, and it was Andy Dalton. And then let me give Fox some credit. They did some shots of the city of Seattle in and out of commercials. Seattle looked absolutely beautiful
Yeah.
today. Had the nice clouds, the ferries going on the water. Great look for Seattle. I really like that. Carolina at one point had 3 false start penalties in a row. I wanted to write that down because I just thought that was comical.
Yep.
Chicago at Kansas City. And the only note I made is Taylor Swift was at the game in Travis Kelce's luxury box. This was
Yep.
the biggest story of the game. Is she with the guy? What do we think?
They are officially dating.
Is it official?
It's official.
Wow. Wow. How do you feel about that? Her with a football player, big muscly dude. I don't know what I think. This is a departure for her. She usually dates like artist skinny dudes.
Yeah. We'll see.
Jesus.
With Gronk gone, I think
Yeah.
he left that quirky, very talented superstar tight end to be, up for grabs. And it looks like Kelsey and Kittle are kind of gonna be going at it.
Wow. She was wearing like a Chiefs windbreaker. She wasn't wearing a jersey. She didn't have a Kelsey jersey or anything, but she had a really low-key Chiefs windbreaker, but she was cheering a lot.
Did you think she was gonna be sitting next to Mahomes' wife, Brittany?
I could see her palling up with Brittany Mahomes. I could see her
I
getting
could see
in.
her not wanting to be Brittany's friend.
Oh, is that right?
I think that's something to keep a close eye on.
Well, you know the thing with Taylor Swift, I am convinced, like we all think we kind of know her. I am convinced nobody knows her. She is just a product of like fame, and her parents have made her this famous person since she was a child. I don't think in any way she resembles a human. I don't know who would say like I'm her good friend or anything like that. She is our or this generation's, what would you say, Madonna? Michael
Maybe.
Jackson?
Yeah, no, she's not Britney Spears. I mean, the Lady Gaga, remember
She's
back,
bigger than all them though.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Back in 2008, 2009, remember that big Lady Gaga explosion, you
Mm-hmm.
know? That's
Yeah.
that's huge.
But I think Taylor Swift has surpassed that. I think she's in Michael Jackson status now, just as
Yeah.
far as fame goes. Where like if she's somewhere, it's a huge deal. So I think we need to keep tabs on what's going on here. I want to know if she's going to parties. Is she in the locker room? I don't even think we know what this woman is like as a person. I think she's a robot. I think she might not even be a real person for all we know. It's weird that she got with Travis Kelce though. How
Yeah,
many
I'm not surprised by the Travis Kelsey. I think he's gonna follow that Gronkowski superstar type
He
trajectory.
seems too broy for her, don't you think? Like, it doesn't seem like that would be the guy she goes for, but I'm projecting. I'm projecting at this point. How many? All right, let me ask you this, Omar. I'm gonna put you on the spot. She's in the luxury box. Did you see the video of she's walking out of the stadium with him? They're not holding hands.
They're
They're
not
just like
holding hands. They're
not
not
holding hands.
holding
Yes.
hands.
I inspected that video very closely. They are not holding hands. Okay. I'm going to ask you a simple yes or no. Have they done the deed at this point?
Yes, they have.
You think they have? Okay.
Yes.
This is serious then.
Yeah.
She
but
goes
but
if she
but
goes to an
he
away game, that's a big
but
game.
they can. Will Travis Kelsey way too early? Bet. Here's the will Travis Kelsey have a hate song written after him?
Good question. What's the over under on the length of this relationship? Do they make it to the end of the season?
Yes.
Okay. Do they make it 1 year?
No.
No.
I could see
Ooh.
a 10-month fling.
Okay. 10 month. I'm gonna take the over then. I'm gonna say they go a year and a half.
But it's gonna be an interesting. We're gonna talk about cryptic text messages, cryptic X tweets. I don't know what you call them nowadays.
Mm-hmm.
And then of course a Taylor. It'll be done with a Taylor a Swift song burning Travis Kelsey and another NFL player, probably a close
Right.
friend of
Well,
his.
this has got to be the most famous person she's been with, right? Who's the
Oh
famous people?
no, I mean
Who's she with?
she's been with wasn't she with that Taylor Lautner from the
Yeah,
Vampire
right, right. He's
movie?
pretty famous. She was with like some Jake Gyllenhaals and stuff. They're pretty famous.
Yeah.
But I don't know if any of that was official. So say this is official.
Orlando
So
Bloom's a big deal. Weren't they together?
she was with Orlando Bloom?
Oh, I
I don't
don't know.
remember.
You can never pay attention to all these
But what I'm saying is if this is like a real relationship and then
yeah,
the
Jonas.
breakup happens and Travis Kelsey is famous, I don't think he's holding back with the dirt.
So that's well, so what I think is gonna happen, Pat, and I can't believe we're talking about a football relationship as much as we are right now. He's gonna end up dating somebody that she's gonna absolutely hate.
Oh, afterwards.
I think
That's good.
I think that's the move.
I can't wait till she has a bad interaction with Jackson Mahomes, Patrick Mahomes' brother, the internet star that is Jackson Mahomes. And he's going to have it like on his Instagram live video or something. She's going to like give him a little elbow or so. I can't wait for that. I can't wait for us to get inside track on what Taylor Swift is actually like because now we've got access. Because all the people that weren't as famous as her almost seem scared of her. They're like, all right, I can't release text messages. I can't release video. But Travis Kelsey doesn't give a shit. He's famous without her. So he is not going to hold back. And Jackson Mahomes might be the crux that we need in this situation. Oh, this is going to be good. This is going to be so good. I hope they make it through the season.
Are you liking this?
Well, I love the drama. And plus, I want to know the dirt. I halfway believe that Taylor Swift is asexual. I think
Oh,
I just think like has to be famous all the time.
I knew it. There was a look. Look at this list.
Mm-hmm.
Lucas Till. I don't know who's that guy.
Who?
Lucas Till looks like a guy that was
Don't
in the
know.
video. Taylor Lautner. We talked about that. John Mayer's a famous dude.
John Mayer is got an impressive resume of tail over the last 10 plus years. That guy. If you said here's a new fragrance, it's called John Mayer's dick. I'm like, let me smell that fragrance.
No,
That guy has done
yeah.
quite well for himself.
Jake
Continue.
Gyllenhaal, big deal.
That's good.
Connor Kennedy in the political world.
Kennedy. Wow.
Um, um, Harry Styles is a big deal. That guy's super famous. Calvin Harris. He's another artist, right?
Yeah.
Um,
There was her last boyfriend guy, that Matt Healy guy.
And then it's saying Tom Hiddleston. I don't know who that guy is.
Don't know who that is.
Joe Alwyn. I think
that's yeah. That I remember that name. I think he was like a British dude.
Yeah, I mean, shit, they're saying here May 2017 to April 2023. That's a long relationship.
Right. That was a long one. And then there was some weird rocker guy after that. And now Kelsey. So look at the departure. She went from like artist guys and now big buff football guy. Jesus. I wonder how long it took how many dates it took Kelsey to like seal the deal. 3? Less? Yeah, I don't know. I wish we could know.
This is modern day varsity blues. The way these players are living.
Right.
This is a Twitter and Lance Harbor. So
Mm-hmm.
they're football players. They're the cool kids right now
Yes.
nationwide. So
So you're saying one date. That's what it sounds like you're angling to. You sound like one date and he
yes,
sealed the deal.
yes.
Wow. God, wow. Why can't we know these things? What were we talking about? All right, go Dallas at Arizona. Go.
Dak Prescott. This is what you get. These are the Cowboys, right? This
That was the most dackiest game that we've seen in a while. Horrible interception in the red zone there.
I can't underscore how big a disappointment Dallas is in, they must be in losing Diggs for the year. That's just, I think that is a horrible injury. And I think that it's gonna affect them a little more than people think.
Injuries are piling up. You're
The
right.
injuries are piling up.
Totally flat
Now,
game.
with Diggs out, man, Micah Parsons is gonna have to have an MVP season carrying this team.
Yeah,
You know,
where was Parsons today? Like the first two games, we couldn't stop talking about Parsons, and then Parsons couldn't make a big impact against the Cardinals today for some weird
they
reason.
lost to a backup Arizona unknown quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
They
Another
had a
backup.
chance. They had a chance to, they got down early. They kind of felt like you kind of got maybe they're crawling back in, but then, just they're driving. You can throw an interception in the red zone like that. In the end, just a terrible misfire. You know what I mean? So
Speaking of bad interceptions, let's go to my horrible game.
okay, Patrick, that was one of the worst interceptions I've ever seen.
That was bad. He had the bad throwaway one. All right, let's start at the top though. NBC starts it off by showing Jimmy G's luxury box, and Jimmy G's Grandpa Tony, has come all the way to the Las Vegas to see the game. And for the second week in a row, the Raiders start out with a great drive for 7 points. And then the Raiders go into what I now call coma Raiders, where they don't do anything, not only on offense, but on defense for the whole game until it's 6 minutes to go in the game. And somehow they muster a little comeback. The Raiders, here's my notes. The Raiders, I wouldn't say gave up on running the ball, but pretty damn close. Every single play is Jimmy G looking deep to Devontae or checking down. There's no like swing the ball out or essentially run plays that are a pass, anything to change it up. Everything is like look deep, check it down, look deep. And it's 90% of the time it's to Adams.
Yeah.
I wrote in my notes, do they know Hunter Renfrow is an eligible receiver?
Yeah. But here's the thing. How do you feel? Do you think Jimmy's G's seat? I always think Josh McDaniels' seat is hot, but I think he's just going to be one of those coaches that just forever lives on the hot seat. You know what I mean?
Yeah, curious, like I don't know what the term would be, but curious offensive scheme in
Right.
today's game where they they're not even a threat to run. They ran so horribly against Buffalo. They either said like, all right, fuck it, no running. They didn't
Right.
attempt to fix it. They got some runs in late, but I think Jimmy G needs a running game. It can't be all Jimmy G. That being said, he was adequate in a lot of series, but a lot of 3-and-outs, the horrible throwaway interception. Jimmy G doesn't want to run the ball. Like there was a couple spots where the pocket is collapsing and I'm like, get out of the pocket and run. He doesn't want to run. And he took 2 hellacious hits in this game. He got one where he got twisted like a pretzel. I'm like, not in front of Grandpa Tony. And then the
Terrible.
other one where he got hit in the head as well. Did you notice this? I don't know how closely you were listening to the broadcast. Collinsworth sounded really disappointed for like 12 minutes in this game. He seemed like he got really salty.
Why do you think that is?
I don't know, but all of a sudden, Collinsworth, I wrote down 3 points where Chirico says something about Devontae Adams playing with Aaron Rodgers, then getting to come to Vegas and play with Carr. And then Carr leaves and he's got Jimmy G. And he's like, yeah, he had a quarterback he liked, and now he's got Jimmy G. And Collinsworth goes, well, when you sign a contract, they own you. and he just leaves Tirico hanging in the
Yeah, it
wind.
was.
And then did you hear the 7-Eleven argument where Tirico says, Devontae Adams, he's like 7-Eleven. He's always open. And Collinsworth goes, what's that mean? Well, I mean, like 7-Eleven, they're always open. 7-Eleven's not open all the like he totally negs Tirico. I'm like, are you guys in a fight? What happened in the commercial? Collinsworth was weird all of a sudden. I think Collinsworth might have had a stroke in the
Yeah,
middle of it. Okay,
not
here's
good.
here's what got my hopes up, Carmona. Every comeback in the NFL is aided by a bullshit roughing the passer penalty. And we got it. We got the bullshit roughing the passer penalty.
Yeah.
We got the bullshit jumping on the center's back or something to block a field goal penalty. I'm like, the Raiders are going to steal this game. My hopes came back and they kick a field goal. So let's start there. They're down 8. There's like 2 or 3 minutes left and they kick a field goal. Should they have gone for it?
I think so.
I think
think
they
so.
were on the. I think they were on like the
Yes.
8.
Yeah, and then I think that they were questioned as to, maybe they were talking about how maybe Josh McDaniels has some faith in his defense to make a play, and I think it's another gritty defense. I like their pass rush, with Crosby and I really like them. I like the defense, but I still think, look, you're paying Devontae Adams all this money, right? I mean, he's going to come down with the ball.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's why you have him, to make that catch. So I would have liked
I got to say, the Raiders receivers are fucking awesome. That other guy made like 2 or 3 toe tap catches on the sideline that were amazing. Jacobs made some good catches. Devontae Adams is awesome. That being said, it can't be all on Jimmy G. He doesn't have the capacity to go all Mahomes or Herbert, put it anywhere on the field. He needs some help, and he can't take these hellacious hits. It's brutal. I thought they should have went for it on the 4th and goal. If they don't get it, they've got the Steelers pinned. They've got the 2-minute warning. They've got timeouts, so they could get the ball back and try one more time for the touchdown and the 2-point conversion. I just thought we had the momentum with penalties and the good mojo on our side. It should have said, screw it, let's go for it, instead of the chip shot field goal.
Yep.
And I had one Collinsworth note. There was a play. There was a big 3rd down. The Raiders stop them. Nate Hobbs, the quarterback, breaks up the pass, and Collinsworth goes, Nate Hobbs, Nate Hobbs, Nate Hobbs. I never heard Collinsworth say anything like that. I liked it. That was when he came out of his coma. So the Raiders are 1-2. Our one win is a 1-point win against the Broncos. Concern level is high, Omar.
I think
that's all I'm going to say.
Faith. I think it's too much faith you have in this team right now.
Well, here's the good things. The receivers are good. The defense is adequate. Jimmy G can be adequate. We need a running game, and we need a better play call scheme. And I don't know if Josh McDaniels has that in him.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
We had in the Charger game. The Charger players overcame bad coaching. I don't know if the Raider players can overcome bad coaching. So there's where my concern lies. All right.
I like that take.
Only 17 more minutes on Taylor Swift, and then we'll get to the awards. All right. Last week, we had technical difficulties, and we couldn't play the trivia game. This week, we're going to play the trivia game. Last year, we had something called the Tom Cruise Double Feature Challenge, where we compared, our Sundays to a Tom Cruise movie. Somewhere around week 10, we ran out of Tom Cruise movies.
Yeah.
So okay, we modified it, but doesn't mean we can't have a Tom Cruise challenge.
Okay.
7 questions. I'm going to see how well you do on the Tom Cruise challenge. How do you feel about this? Because you're a big Cruise head.
Big fan.
All right, here we go. Okay, let's start with question number 1. Top Gun Maverick was Tom Cruise's biggest grossing movie of all time. What is his second biggest grossing movie? Is it A, Jerry Maguire, B, War of the Worlds, or C?
You kind of froze. Give me A.
A. Jerry Maguire.
Okay.
B. War of the Worlds.
Okay.
C. Mission Impossible Fallout.
I am going to go C. Mission Impossible Fallout. Yes.
You are correct. Mission Impossible Fallout, $791 million is his second highest grossing movie. 1-for-1, Omar. Question number 2. What is Tom Cruise's home state? Is it A, New York? Is it B, California? Is it C, Pennsylvania?
What's A again?
A is New York.
California, New York, or what?
Pennsylvania.
Thomas Mapother, I think his name, was born in, I'm going to guess California, but I have no reason to.
The correct answer, Tom Cruise's home state, is New York.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I think I remember something
He's
like
from
that.
Syracuse, New York. I'm surprised you
Yeah,
didn't know
you're
that
right.
one.
You're right. Yeah.
All right. 1-for-2. Question number 3. What is Tom Cruise's lowest grossing movie? Is it A, Legend from 1985? Is it B, Magnolia, 1999? Or is it C, Rock of Ages, 2012?
No, with in this day and age, I don't know. I don't know if they're factoring inflation on this, but I'm going to go with Legend.
Good pick. The answer is Legend. 1985 grossed $15 million. Yes, I think that was his first movie, too.
Yeah.
All right, 2 on the board, 2 for 3. Question number 4. L. Ron Hubbard founded Scientology. What does the L stand for? A, Lynn. B, Leroy. C, Lafayette.
Roy.
The answer is C, Lafayette. Lafayette. Question number 5. L. Ron Hubbard wrote a science fiction novel that was made into a movie. Which one? A, Battlefield Earth. B, Sky Captain and the World of Tomorrow. C, Omega Man.
A. Yes.
The answer is A, correct. Battlefield Earth was written by L. Ron Hubbard and made into a movie. All right, now you're humming.
There we go.
Tom Cruise has played many characters. What is the name of a character he has never played? Is it A, Brian? Is it B, Vincent? Is it C? What did I write for C? Oh, is it C, Ryan? Or is it D, Roger?
He has never been a Roger.
You are correct. He has never played a Roger. Back on track. He was Brian in Cocktail. He was Vincent in Collateral and The Color of Money. And he was Ray, he was Ray in Born in the 4th of July. Last question.
What was he in All the Right Moves? Georgievich, but what
Steven.
was Steven, you're right.
Steven. I think he's been a Steven a couple of times as well. Steven Georgievich. The lockdown corner. Go for the ball, not the man.
No, exactly.
He didn't quit. You quit on us, coach. All right, sorry. Last question. Tom Cruise is reportedly 5'7". Is he taller or shorter than? I'm going to give you 3 names. Taller or shorter? Al Pacino.
He is shorter.
You are incorrect. Al Pacino is 5'6". He's taller.
Wow.
Number 2 celeb. Is he taller or shorter than Harry Styles?
He's shorter.
Correct. Harry Styles is 6 feet.
Yeah.
He's shorter. And last one, is he taller or shorter than Jack Black?
Ooh. You try to trick me. They're the same height.
Uh, no, he's taller or shorter. No ties.
Okay. He is shorter.
Incorrect. He is taller. Jack Black is 5'6".
Ouch.
All right, not bad. You got 5 in that one. Excellent. That was the Tom Cruise trivia. I thought that went well.
Very cool. That was a fun one.
All right, let's do the awards. How are you feeling this week for the awards?
We're ready.
Yeah, I feel we're still getting our feet under us with the awards this year since we changed up our format. So let's start with best quote. I have 2 nominees. One comes from Sean Payton's press conference after his blowout game, and it was, I think they punted once. Any questions?
That was pretty good.
He had a pretty salty press conference. I don't know if you heard it, but
So my quote from him was going to be, was that a question? Was that a
yeah,
question?
yeah. I was going to say the same thing. That was great where the reporter's trying to stick it to him and Sean Payton is like, what's question? Nominee number 2. This was from
he's not looking good with him picking on Nathaniel Hackett that way.
No, yeah, Nathaniel Hackett and him should have a constant beef that goes on throughout the season where he's like, how you looking? 0-3. At least we won a game.
Right.
I also got nominee number 2. This came from Chris Collinsworth in the first quarter when the Raiders went for it on 4th down and scored a touchdown. It takes big plays to win games in this league. Thank you, Chris Collins, for that.
Yeah.
Collinsworth for that gem. Those are my 2 nominees. I don't think I can beat the Sean Payton. I think they punted once. Any questions for my?
Yeah, that's a good one.
You like that one?
Yeah, I like that one.
All right, you start us off on this one. The hot take award for the week. What's your hot take of the week?
Ooh, I didn't even have a chance to think about this, but what would be my hot take? Let me think of a team. I'm going to do an 0-3 team that will make the playoffs.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That can only be one, right? There's no way Denver, Carolina, or Chicago make the playoffs.
Oh, you don't think?
Well, this is a hot take.
Okay, how about this? The undefeated team right now that will not be in the playoffs is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Oh, okay. That's good. I can go with you on that. Here's my hot take. I like the Chargers going for it on 4th and 1. I thought it was a good call to go for it.
Okay.
I'm all in.
It's off.
Hot take. Next award, Best Innovation Award. I wrote down 3. Number 1, gloves. Every single player wears gloves in the NFL. Even quarterbacks wear 2 gloves. And then the Pittsburgh punter wears 1 glove as well. So I got gloves in general is a great innovation. Number 2 innovation, the TD celebration.
Yep.
Is a great innovation. Also, the non-celebration celebration, I think is pretty cool too. When someone scores a touchdown and just walks back to the sideline, I feel that's strong.
Yeah, that's cool.
And lastly, best innovation, because they showed it during the Raider game, the Hoover Dam. What's a better innovation than the Hoover Dam?
That's Patrick. That's pretty good.
I'm going with the Hoover Dam for best innovation of the week.
My best innovation is going to be, I'm just give me a better innovation for the NFL than the headset. Who are people talking to with these headsets?
Yeah, communication up to the booth, communication to the quarterback. The headset is a vital piece of equipment for the staff.
Yep.
That's good. I like the headset. Next award.
There's the headset.
Cringeworthy award for the week. 2 nominees, Brandon Staley's facial hair, and nominee number 2, joint award, the Bears and the Broncos are both cringeworthy.
The cringeworthy award. It's just got to be all about the Denver Broncos. Not good at all.
It's hard to say the Broncos were not cringeworthy for all 60 minutes of that game. Jesus, that was bad. Award number 5, best costume design. Okay, this one's a little bit of a deep pull, but I was watching the pregame before the Raiders Steelers game started, and Chris Sims is on the field. Something is up with Chris Sims' hair. Like they gave it this weird, like gel wave thing. He has really fine, thin hair as it is, and he looked like a ventriloquist dummy with this hair. It was all shiny and wavy. He looked like a guy from the 30s as well.
Yeah.
So I give his hair a nominee. And in second nominee, I just love the color contrast of Raiders Steelers. Black and silver, yellow and white with the black helmets.
Like, they talk, and I'm, Collinsworth going crazy about the old '70s matchups between the old '70s Steelers and the Raiders, Al Davis versus the Rooneys. Weren't they opposite? The Rooneys stood for everything, about the golden age of the NFL, and this is Al Davis. I'm not happy with my TV deals. I'm not happy with my stadium deals. I'm not happy with the way the revenue's divided up here. I think it is just I hope that both these teams can, in the long run, get back to where they once were.
There was a point where someone got hit really hard. I think it was Devontae Adams got hit hard, and Collinsworth goes, "This is Raiders Steelers football." Chris Collins was very hot and cold today. I don't know what the hell happened to him in the middle of the game where he got all salty. So that was my best costume design award. I'm gonna go Raiders Steelers uniforms. I love it. What about you? Best costume of the week?
Ooh, best costume of the week. Winners wear red. The San Francisco 49ers. There you go.
Just their home jerseys in general. Next award, Advice Alley. I got one and only one. Justin Fields' agent needs to start looking for another team right now for his guy. This Justin Fields still has a lot of football in him. He's very talented, and it's not going to happen on the Bears. It's just not. I don't see. No. He needs a much better coach, and he needs people to block for him. He needs a facelift. So that's my advice: is Justin Fields' agent, get on the ball right now.
Ooh, that's a great one. I hate to do this again. I feel like you're gonna think I'm lazy, but the owner for the Walton family, it's time to return. Like Walmart, you go get in line and return your coach. Find someone else.
Get rid of who owns is that the owner of the Broncos?
Yeah.
Get rid of Sean Payton after 3 weeks.
You know why? I was hoping no. Of course, it's not going to happen. I think that there is a marriage between Sean Payton and Jerry Jones somewhere, and I could see a Super Bowl somewhere down the line there. And so, I just don't see and Denver being a good marriage.
So you think Sean Payton is going to go to the Cowboys?
Yes.
Oh, wow. That's borderline hot take as well. Next award, the Sunday.
If they falter, I think this will be Mike McCarthy's last year in Dallas.
Oh, that's a good take. If the Cowboys go 10-7,
right,
and they lose in the wild card round of the playoffs, it's gut check time, and Sean Payton is on the hook. I don't know if they I don't know. I can't see him leaving after 1 year with bad Russell Wilson, zombie Russell Wilson.
Yep. Yeah.
Crazier things have happened, like Taylor Swift being in the luxury box.
Right.
Next award, the Sunday double feature. What movie would you want to watch after this Sunday in the NFL? You know which one I went with? I went with the Silver Linings Playbook, because there's those scenes in it where they're going to the Philly game and they're tailgating and they're wearing the jerseys. I'm like, we're approaching the heart of the season right now, and the season is turning, the colors are changing. I like that. I like that moment in that movie where they're all about the home team. So I think I'd want to watch that movie after this Sunday.
After this Sunday, I'm gonna do the Lord of the Rings, because with Lord of the Rings, it's a very long story. It's a very long season, and there are several teams out there that I just need to see more before I can really assess how they're going to be come December and January. Cleveland Browns, the Detroit Lions, to an extent the Green Bay Packers. Let's see what we see from these teams.
So you would want to watch what, the Lord of the Rings trilogy after this Sunday? Where are you going to be in bed at 3 a.m.?
Yeah. Nice and relaxed.
All right. Well, it's your call. All right. Last award. Who won the week? I got 2 nominees. Number 1, Brian McDaniels, coach of the Miami Dolphins, never looked better than this win. Or nominee number 2, backup QBs in general. Dalton, Minshew, Winston, Dobbs all had great weeks. Not Dalton, but
I like your McDaniels, but I'm gonna say the real winners of the week are his players. I think Tua, that two-headed machine that they had. They didn't even have, arguably they're, one of the almost as good as Tyreek Hill in Jalen Waddle didn't even play today.
mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? That's huge. And for them to be beating up on a professional team like that, but also C.J. Stroud gets his first NFL win. He good for the young man, and hopefully he can get some to get that franchise, the Houston Texans, on the right track.
Are you on the Texas train a bit?
No, not really, but I mean, I want them to do well.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So you're going to give it to one of those players, the Dolphins and C.J. Stroud. Yeah, I think we're in some agreement. It's kind of like if I said, who won Platoon? You went with William Dafoe and I went with Oliver Stone. All right.
Here's some breaking news too. Matt Ryan and Carson Wentz possibly on the New York Jets wish list.
Oh, I thought we were supposed to upgrade the quarterback.
Yeah,
Carson Wentz is not good, Jets.
No, but I think you bring in Matt Ryan for a workout.
Yeah, I think you do Matt Ryan. I think Matt Ryan needs to work out. I saw Andrew Luck was on the sideline of some game. Work him out too.
He was wearing like a rebel. Was it a World War II Union outfit?
What was that about? Andrew Luck might be a weird guy, and we don't know about it.
Stanford. I mean, he's a bright guy. We know that.
Bright. He went to Stanford. Where's he from? I don't know. But
his father was a former quarterback. Oliver Luck, didn't he make he was athletic director, I think, at USC for a time. So I mean, a bright guy, good lineage, yeah.
Huh? Yeah. All right, Matt Ryan, Carson Wentz. Oh my God, please, not Carson Wentz. Andrew Luck. Who else can they call in? Rivers? Can we check on Phillip Rivers? See what he's up to?
Got too many kids.
Too many kids. Well, he might want to get out of the house though.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's a hot take.
Can we check on him?
No.
Check on him. They need somebody. You're right. There's no way Zach Wilson starts all these games the rest of the season. There's no way.
No, that's a great.
They're so bad.
Who's out there?
Vinny Testaverde, Bernie Kosar.
I think Alex Smith. Alex Smith. I don't think he can do it health-wise though.
Yeah, he won't come back. That's too much of a risk for Alex Smith. They got to find somebody. They got to pull somebody out of there. All right. Monday night.
Matt. Who?
No, I was going to say Monday night, but you have another name?
Matt Ryan. No, that's all I can think of.
Matt Ryan's the only name that I can think of is worth a workout tomorrow.
I think if you could figure out a way to have like this artificial intelligence, like kind of like a robot hooked up to Ryan Fitzpatrick's brain waves, and maybe he's controlling a robot, and maybe we'll just give him the same speed as Ryan Fitzpatrick, the same arm strength for the deep ball. He just works out. Ryan Fitzpatrick comes in, works out one time. He attaches all these sensors to his body, to his head.
Yeah.
And they design a prototype. He's controlling this machine with brain power. How about that?
Yeah, get some AI in there. Get some Elon Musk to implant something in his brain. And then he can use him. He can adjust him. He can use all his body parts, but be controlled from like a Xbox controller. Wow. I didn't know that would take that turn.
You like that?
I'm a little scared.
It could happen. Crazier things have happened.
Monday night, 2 games on Monday night. They did this last week too. It's a little unusual. One starts at 4:15 Pacific time and the second one starts at 5:15. I don't know you can't watch both of them at the same time. Philadelphia at Tampa Bay is the early game.
I'm
LA
gonna go with
Rams.
Philadelphia. Yeah, I think it's Philadelphia, and I think Philadelphia big. I think Baker Mayfield show's over.
I think Philadelphia is slowly turning into the San Antonio Spurs of old. Not flashy, but just wins. Just quarterback sneaks.
I don't see that. Remember, I think that I even told in the beginning of the year, not because I'm a Niners fan. I said I think that Philadelphia is not going to be as good as last year. I didn't say that I think they're still going to win the division. I really do. I just think they're going to take a step back. And I think that the 49ers have closed that gap between them and the Eagles. So I'm going to say the team that's impressing me that I can see the Dolphins, being taking over that Patriot dynasty of the AFC East. And when we thought it was going to be the Bills, but it just seems like the Bills just can't win the big game. We didn't talk about their game today. They roughhoused the Commanders, but I just I thought it was the Bills for the taking. Obviously, that's been a struggle for them to get to the top of that. And before you know it, now I got Miami. They're here.
Yeah, I cannot wait for Bills or Miami, especially Miami. Like one of these teams has got to take down the champ, KC. Somebody's got to take them out. Cincinnati had their shot. Cincinnati landed a couple of good blows. If you were to make this a boxing fight, Cincinnati landed punches, but they didn't get over the top of them.
Look,
and
I
they got no Super Bowls.
We didn't even talk about the Bears. There was not much to talk about there. We talked about the Kelsey but the Bears. Patrick Mahomes is still Superman. He's still an MVP. He's still the defending Super Bowl champion. So, but 1-1 right now, face to face. Let's go. I'm going to take the Dolphins over the Chiefs if they were to play on a neutral site right now.
Wow, neutral site. Where would this hypothetical? You want quarterbacks to be robots? You want to play in neutral sites? You're out there. You're a futurist, Omar Carmona, at the moment. What about the second game? LA Rams at Cincinnati. I think this is the Cincinnati off year. I think they're going to go 8-9 this year. Not their year. They're starting very soon.
Joe Burrow is the future of the Cincinnati Bengals. I think we can all agree on that, right? They're going to pay him. They paid him. I think they already gave him his contract. So long term, they're building this all around him. Yeah, there may be an off year. Okay, it's possible. I just think that they need a win desperately tomorrow.
Yeah, they're very desperate. You're right.
It's so hard to say, hey, are you desperate? It's only been 3 games. They've played their third game. But yeah, I think, would you say Cincinnati's desperate tomorrow?
Yeah, I think so. You can go 0-2 and make a playoff run. You cannot go 0-3.
No.
Just can't. And I think this is going to be a good game. Rams coming all the way to Cincinnati. I'm for some reason, I think the Rams are going to win. I'm not super confident in this pick, but I'm going to go with the Rams by 3.
Love it.
By 3 points. All right. That was the Sunday Night Talk for week 3 in the NFL. Omar Carmona, thank you. You had a great Sunday. You didn't even have to stress about your 49ers. And I took one right on the face Sunday night. Raiders 1-2. What we got next week? Omar Carmona for the Sunday Night Talk. For me, Patrick Ramirez. I will see you next week. Thank you, Omar. That's it. That's the episode. That's week 3. That's the Sunday Night Talk. That's Omar Carmona. That's me, Patrick Ramirez, rehashing our Sundays, our thoughts, our predictions, our hopes, our dreams, our Taylor Swift predictions. We spent a lot of time on that, but I think it was needed. It was absolutely needed. Don't forget, if you're new to the channel, please subscribe to it. Give it a click. Every single subscriber helps. And all my videos are up and you have access to all of them. Not to mention, thank you everyone who came out to the comedy show this last Friday, and October 4th, you have another chance. Details coming on that comedy show as well. So, where are you on week 3? Are your hopes high? Are your hopes medium? Or are they trashed? Mine are medium. Yeah, they're still medium. The season is long. Jimmy G can pull it off, and so can the Raiders. I'm being optimistic. It's not even October. We can do this. Stay positive, everybody. Thank you for listening. For me, Patrick Mears, and for Omar Carmona, I will see you next week.